Here's why they let Trump win in 2024. And I actually believe this. I know some of you guys, well, most of you guys, you're crazy. Jill will email me. You're crazy. They didn't let Trump win. He won because I get it. I get the arguments. I just don't think they're right. I think the argument that he won is because they allowed him to win. I mean, my argument is if they could pilfer it, and I don't want to use the S word, if they could pilfer it in 2020, why would they be able to pilfer it in 2024? They had more ability to do it. They had Democratic legislatures and governors in the three big states, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. They had more ability to pilfer in 2024 than 2020. Why couldn't they do it? Stud drop. I mean, I don't know if they had drop. I don't know. They still had all the capability that they had. So they let him win. Why? And and it just hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm watching the debacle that is Germany, that is the UK, that is the EU. It's not the immigration. It's because energy. And they know, I tell you, man, whoever the hell's run the show, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, I just listened to some guy who said Switzerland or Sweden, there's this guy, this family that owns everything. I don't know. They know that they can't have green energy that will run the world. They know that. And they know if they keep forcing that on us, there's going to be a massive revolution, Bastille Day on steroids. They know this. They're not dumb people, the people in charge. They're not dumb. In fact, I don't even necessarily think they're evil. I don't. I think they want power, but they know how to get power is to keep the rabble-rousers at bay. How do you keep the rabble-rousers at bay? You take away their energy? You make freaking the cost to heat your house like the equivalent of a mortgage? No. So they said, look, man, with the data centers require huge amounts of electricity on top of a growing consumption base, obviously still in the U.S., still in the Western world, but insanely much more in the second and third worlds. We can't have... We just aren't going to be able to do this on green. It's just not going to happen. And if we keep doing this, the game will be over. They're going to revolt. So we have to allow Trump to win to allow us to refocus away from green energy. Nuclear is a green energy for sure. To refocus on actual production, generation, as opposed to fairy tales. I literally believe this. Do you not know how much it costs for a data center, electricity, the consumption of electricity? The consumption of electricity, there's a Tesla right in front of me. The consumption of electricity on heat pumps. Think about if you're in Maine. You're going to mandate heat pumps. You're going to mandate electric vehicles. What does that do? That adds consumption to the grid. And then you're going to decommission nuclear power plants. You're going to say no pipelines are coming here. You knock out, hydro. They don't like hydro. You're going to say we're only going to get our electricity from solar and wind. How insane is that? That is, you just can't do it, dude. You can't do that. And as such, they know that if they keep pushing that green crap, they know that there is going to be a revolution like you've never seen. You're going to see freaking electric vehicles be destroyed by freaking people pissed off that they can't drive an internal combustion engine. In fact, one of the things that's very interesting, where was it? 2030, I think, in California or something like that. They were going to ban ICEs. I can't remember. There's like 8 states I read someplace. They're going to ban ICEs. Dude, you really think that's going to go through? Think about it. If they banned internal combustion engines in California, California, as loony as it is, it's still, 50 million people live there? The majority, if not the vast majority outside where the rich people live, don't drive electric vehicles. And you're going to say you have to buy an electric vehicle on top of the fact that we banned dirty energy or electricity generation. So we're only going to get electricity from solar and wind. Do you not know what's going on in Europe right now? In Germany, who led the way on this insanity? They're dying. It's no wonder why the AFD, which I'm a big fan of AFD, the alternative for Deutschland. AFD, baby. I need to get an AFD shirt. I got to find an AFD shirt and start wearing that around. 100%. Do you not know what's happening over there? Why do you think the governments in these places, I mean, immigration is part of it, don't get me wrong. But immigration is just one of, peel of the onion. If you can't heat your house and you can't commute to work without paying an arm and a leg, if you can't have air conditioning, like I live in the deep south. If you can't have air conditioning, I don't care if you're black or white, you're going to be friggin' pissed, dude. Or if they say, you can only have air conditioning 2 hours a day. You can't make Americans get accustomed to that. You know why? Because we've never been accustomed to that. Our whole life we've had air conditioning whatever we want. You're not going to sit there and say to Americans, no, we're only going to give you, because rolling blackouts or brownouts and stuff, you can only have air. We're not Zimbabwe. And my man Skip Ritchie does some mission work in Zimbabwe. That's what they have to deal with, because everything they have, there's no grid. It's all on generators. And the fuel, they can only use the generators on occasion because the fuel is so scarce, and it's expensive too. So they got 2 hours a day or something like that of electricity, of which if they even use air conditioning, they run that. It's not gonna work here. It's one thing if we never had 24/7, turn on the lights, have electricity kick in. We have AC, heat, and whatnot, and that's if you run your heat off the electrical pump of a heat pump. But we're not like that anymore. I mean, we've been like that now for 50 years. Very few people don't have AC anymore. Very few people have had, they had to use a wood stove to heat their homes. So think about that. So they said, we've got to stop the bleeding. Now the question is, why did they let it get so crazy to begin with? I don't know the answer to that. That's what I think. Why they know this? Why are they allowed to be? I just literally think it's to cause chaos. And I think at the end of the day, I don't think they bought into this, because there's no way anyone with just basic math skills would buy into the green stuff. No way. So I don't know. I don't know what dirty deeds they'd done while Sniffy Joe was in office when they took Trump out the first time. I don't know. And I don't know if they were caught with their pants down to allow Trump to win the first time. I don't know. I don't think so. Because remember, Hillary, I was listening to these liberal podcasters the other day, and they're talking about Trump just barely won, and Trump got smoked in 2020, and she's like, no, we didn't. Some liberal, it's a bulwark. And I think, is the bulwark supposed to be somewhat conservative? They're just anti-Trump. And the dude's like, yeah, Trump got smoked in 2020. And he goes, no, he didn't. He just lost by 30,000 votes in PA, 12,000 in Georgia, 12,000 in Arizona. You got less than 100,000 votes and you got a new president. Same thing happened in 2004 with George W. Bush. 60,000 votes change in Ohio, he loses. Same thing. These are very, very tight. So anyway, the issue was in 2016, Hillary lost very closely. A couple votes here, a couple votes there, and I never quite understood why the Democrats didn't challenge the vote count in Michigan. In fact, Jill Stein was gonna, and then they told her not to. Because there's a video, I'll never forget this. This is why I said, okay, this is all playing. There's a video they had in, I think it's Macomb, some county that Trump ended up winning, but is primarily a Democratic county. Macomb County or something like that in Detroit, or the suburbs of Detroit, something I can't remember what it's called. But anyway, they denied votes coming. I can't remember the whole thing. It's like, Trump only won by 15,000 votes or something. I can't remember what it was. But I remember it's like, eesh. So thank God they didn't challenge that, because if they would have challenged it, they might have said, hey, wait a second, man, something's gone awry. And they were going to challenge it. Jill Stein challenged it until the Democrats, for some reason, told her, don't challenge it. Why? Why did they want her not to challenge it? And she said, okay. I said, what? Why did they not want her to challenge the vote in Michigan? It's very, very odd. Obviously, it was to set up the way for 2020, without question now. In hindsight, it's obvious. But then you got to say, well, why in 2024 did they not do the same thing? And I think literally it's just because they know. They said, man, if we can't arrest this insanity of the green crap, there's going to be a bunch of people who are going to be Bastille Day us. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to say, this is insane. I can't drive my truck. I need my truck to go to work. I can't freaking heat my home. I can't air condition my home. And even in California, the Inland Empire is hot out there. They might not need heat. I don't know how cold it gets in the wintertime, but if you can't have heat because you can't find electricity to go on the grid, there's going to be some heads rolling. Anyways, that's why I think they let Trump win. Now, what happens in 2028? I'm not so sure. And how much do they control? I don't know. I don't think about all that much, but it just hit me as I was reading these things about what's going on in the EU, Germany in particular, and the UK next. I'm like, man, it's a lot of bad stuff that's been happening in Germany, man. I could not believe it. I just can't believe it. And I just don't know if like the powers that be, the people who are in charge of the world, do they just not know that their green agenda can't work? Or did they know and they want to cause chaos? I don't know, and I'm not going to sit there and think about it too much. But anyway, that's my reason why I think they let Trump win, is they want Trump to get in there and say, look, we've got to have nuclear. We've got to have dirty energy, because if we don't, we're going to roll, and we'll be like freaking Marie Antoinette. And we know what happened to Robespierre later on, don't we? Yes, we do. So you might Marie Antoinette the people who are in there now, but at some point you could be Robespierre yourself. So just be careful. Don't storm the Capitol. Don't storm the Bastille. All right, God bless. Love your thoughts. You're crazy, Josh. Blah, 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 blah. Give me the bat. Give me the bat, Raj. Give me the bat. Remember that? Give me the bat. Give me the bat. Give me the bat, Marge. Give me the bat. Give me the bat. If you know that, put it in the show notes. God bless.